Good morning, everyone. I am subbing and filling in for Leanne today, and we are at the NowSite 1K or more club. Hopefully we have a tidbit or two that you'll take away from this if you tune in and you're watching the recording of it. Today I have Alex and Stephen. Alex is a newlywed, so we are with him only a couple of days after he got married, and he showed up to be with us. So just it goes to show you how important this meeting really is, right? Congratulations, Alex, and thanks so much for joining us today.
Awesome. Thank you, Lisa. That
My
was so
pleasure.
nice.
Yeah, and then Stephen and I were chatting a little bit and decided that we really want to talk about the messages in NowSite. You know, who's using your messages? Have you changed them or updated them? Are you just using the NowSite messages? So, Stephen, you had a couple of questions. Why don't you kick us off with that? I'll see if I can answer them, and if not, we'll brainstorm together and see if we can figure out an answer for you.
Sure. So this morning I was going through SalesPro, and the top 3 people that it has in the queue for me to reach out to build rapport, they haven't responded to my first message on LinkedIn, which means you can't send them a second message.
Correct.
Yeah, until they accept your connection, then you can't send them a second message. And so the first one, I was like, no big deal. Second one is kind of irritating. Third one, I was like, okay, this is a flaw.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be in the top of my queue for follow-up if I can't follow up with them yet.
It is a flaw. What the SalesPro, just tracks that you sent them something. And if you say, let me actually share my screen. When you're in there, can you all see it? Can you all see my messages on my screen?
Yes.
Okay. When with SalesPro, when we, I'm going to hop out of here, go back to the main, and we'll come back to that page. When we actually generate a lead and send it out and pull it in, SalesPro tracks that we reached out to them. And when we do that, there's an option. I'm going to just walk through this really quick. There's an option to say, schedule a follow-up appointment, or nah, I don't want to do that. When we say, nah, I don't want to do that, then they, and we can convert them to inactive. They won't show up in our sales flow, and we'll have to watch LinkedIn to see when they connect with us so that we can reach out to them a second time. So you can make it so that they don't show up in there, but the way that SalesPro is designed, it automatically brings them up in there. If you hit yes, schedule a follow-up time for them, whether they've connected with you on LinkedIn or not, it will pop up in your SalesPro to follow up with them. So a couple of things that I've done is I've tried it both ways. I've done that, nah, don't reschedule it. And then I have to go look in LinkedIn to see who's connected, pull them up in SalesPro and do my follow-up with them there if they've already connected, and I can show you messages that I've written for that. Or the other thing that I do is just leave them in the SalesPro, and instead of sending them a LinkedIn message, use Messenger or email for a second and third follow-up. And let me show you what those messages look like. So we're back in here in the message library. And when we go down on the far left, we're going to look at my messages. And you'll notice here that my SalesPro has written 2 messages. And then as I scroll down here, we can look at some of the ones that I've written. The one on the left there, I sent you a LinkedIn connection the other day and didn't get a response. I'm following up to see if you would like to generate targeted leads for your business. Here's a link to a quick video demo showing how. Let me know if I can be of service to your business. In just a second, you'll have access to targeted leads. Let's get that cash register to ring more often. So that's what I'm using for my email. If they have not followed up with me through LinkedIn, if they have not connected, I've acknowledged that, let them know I tried to reach out through there, and I'm following it up again through email. I can use that same message for email or Messenger. Something that I read somewhere in the NowSite material said that the order, and maybe it was Steve Patterson even that said this, the order to do it is LinkedIn first, because that's the highest response rate, then email, then Messenger. Not as many business people are on Facebook Messenger, some, but most of those folks are probably solopreneurs, or they have maybe an affiliate marketing or network marketing business, stay at home, and they're running their business through Facebook. So it's a different group of people, but they seem to be like third on the list. So I find that I do LinkedIn and then email. And a lot of people do respond to email. They do see it because it's coming through our Gmail server, our Gmail address, and it doesn't end up in their spam. In the olden days, it did end up in the spam, but now if you're using a Gmail account, it does get into their email box and they do see it. So that's one of the things that I've used to follow up with them. Let me see here, common interests. There's a few other messages. Here, the one on the right-hand side, it says, I sent you an introductory email the other day and didn't get a response. I'm following up to see if you'd like to generate more leads and get that cash register to ring more often. I'm happy to do a quick call share a video, or invite you to a live demo happening at 11 o'clock with our VP of Marketing, Cheryl Crow. And then that's the link for that. So they could pop on a live demo, and then I do attach the video link. You'll see there, it says video demo link. I do attach the video demo so they could watch it right away. And that again could be used in Messenger, because I sent them an email and then this would be my Messenger follow-up after that. So that's kind of message one. You know, I see we have a lot in common or interests. I'm expanding my network. Would you like to connect with me? Those are the kind of messages that I send for number one. Then number two, it goes to the email. I sent you a LinkedIn. And number three, it goes to Facebook Messenger. I sent you an email. So each of them refers to the previous one that I had done, so that they see that I've tried to reach out 3 different places. That's how I'm using it. How does that resonate? Do you have any questions around that, Stephen?
No, that is great. I have not diverted from LinkedIn. I've been purely working from LinkedIn, so I haven't tried shifting gears and moving over to email.
Sure. And so I just grabbed this one to send to this person right here. I'm going to add the attachment of my video link, which is my SalesFlow affiliate link. Will have that video in it. It's the first one on my list. I'm going to add that, and then I'm going to hit send. This should add my signature to it. From Gmail should automatically add my signature to it. So I need to actually send this to myself and make sure that it does that, because I don't have signatures on the bottom of any of those messages. I don't know if any of you guys have checked to see, does Gmail automatically grab a message, or I'm sorry, automatically grab a signature, or do we need to put those in the message? And then this is the part that I was talking about with the, let me move that box up here. Right down here, you can book them, Dano. It will automatically schedule it. You see on there, October 3rd is highlighted. So it will, they will pop up again in my sales flow to follow up with them that third time. And so I'll have to check and see if they connected through email. You know, they should show up if they'd connected through email. If they didn't, then I can send that last one, that Facebook message to them when they pop up in my feed again. The other option would be to say, nah, skip it, and then wait for a response. And then I'm checking email to see if they responded. I check email only once a day, so I'm not great at that. I have to be a little bit more persistent. I do have a VA that helps me with that. But for the email, I do a book them Dano, so I know that they come up in my sales flow, and then I will send them that third message at that time. All right. Helpful, good information.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, that was great. And I'll actually add a couple things. So I
Please
believe
do.
if you automatically have your signatures turned on for Gmail, because that's ultimately where it kicks you over to is your Gmail. If you have those turned on for all of your emails coming out of that account, then it should automatically be there. You shouldn't have to put them in the message in NowSite.
Yes.
And then also a really unique way to also use other ways of contacting people. What I mean by that is I find a lot of really great qualified leads on LinkedIn while I'm there. And all I have is their LinkedIn. If you just take the link of their profile, copy it, go to the NowSite, create them as a contact, paste that LinkedIn link in there, and then enhance, you're going to get their, a lot of times, more often than not, you're going to get their phone number, their email, their Facebook. So if you don't have those things, NowSite can be a really powerful tool to get those things. So then you have other modes of contact just by one LinkedIn link.
Yes. And so I'm opening LinkedIn right now. And you said that you go into, maybe I'm opening it right now. You go into LinkedIn And where is it that I'm looking for this?
Yeah. So go to if someone's profile, someone that you might be interested in learning more about or contacting. Maybe you found them because they popped up on your LinkedIn through someone else or whatever, right? You came across their profile somehow. So we got to kind of find somebody.
Okay. So I have a bunch of contacts in LinkedIn.
Yeah. And we just
that
need to go to someone. We just need to pick a person's profile that we can go to. It just has to
Sure,
be of some kind. Yeah.
for sure. So let's look at Paul here.
Okay.
Open it
Great.
up. Yep. And then I want to view profile
Yep. Exactly.
and then come up here and I'm going to
Yeah.
copy it right
Yeah.
out of here.
Yeah. Exactly. Just copy that. Right.
And then I'm going to hop over to my
Yeah. Your
contacts and I'm going
right.
to hit the people plus
Yep.
and add a new contact.
Yeah. Exactly.
And there it is. And we can just drop in his
First
link.
name. I haven't tried it without a first name or last name because that doesn't make sense. So I always put the first and last name in quick. But
Okay.
then yeah, just drop that LinkedIn link there, or you can just maybe put a first name in. But
MCINTOSH. And it's actually in their, it's in their LinkedIn profile. So there, we do
yeah.
have access to that. And then I'm
Yep.
going to add them to I need to add them to something. Let's see. We'll go to pending. And we want to
And
save
just
that. Oh, no, I
yep.
should have. No, I do
Nope.
save
You're
it
good.
and then
Yep.
enhance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. Yep. And then
So enhance and launch SalesFlow or just enhance down
nope.
here?
I just do enhance
Okay.
just to see what it. Yep.
Enhance contact.
There we go.
Success. All right. I don't need to
I
get
got a
the
Twitter
personality.
now. I got an email. I
Phone
got a phone
number.
number. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I oftentimes, not that NowSite doesn't produce great quality leads.
Yeah.
They do, but sometimes the best quality leads come from intuition. And when you discover somebody like I have, being able to put them in an NowSite, learn a little bit more about them, get other modes of contact can actually lead to a different type of business transaction, if that makes sense, right? Like people who appreciate you tracking them down will let you know, wow, you must have had a hard time finding me because not a lot of people get through to my LinkedIn or whatever. So
Right. And what I love about that is here, there's those are imported contacts, but I think if I went back to my network, I have, yeah, there's some connections in here. A lot of these folks, we connected through LinkedIn. Some of them are NowSite, but NowSite's relatively new for me and making connections. A lot of these folks, especially the older ones, were connections where people had just reached out and I don't know anything about them. I've never engaged with them. So even as a great lead source for us is to go to our contacts in LinkedIn. If you've never connected with them on a deeper level, doing this and putting them into SalesFlow and enhancing them and asking them to do a one-to-one. Hey, and the message would sound something like, hey, I know that we're connected through LinkedIn and I'm reaching out to everyone in my network because I'd like to learn more about you so that we can refer business back and forth. Would you be available for a one-to-one? Then you get to actually be face-to-face with folks and start telling them what it is that you do. I think that's brilliant. Why start with cold calls when you already have a warm contact with somebody who's already connected with you in LinkedIn? That's 1,000 people that I could bring into my sales flow and send out a message, maybe not do them all in one day, because I probably couldn't do that many appointments. Even if 10% of those 1,000 people wanted to reach out, that's 100. But what if it's only 1%? You're talking about 10 new face-to-face appointments where I get to talk about what I do and how I can serve their business. Alex, genius today. We're done. We're gonna go because it's brilliant. Brilliant.
Yeah,
I love
actually,
that
I got one more thing that I can add on to that then to really finish out the process or round it off.
Yes.
And that's once you've added. So I have a virtual assistant who is getting really qualified leads from LinkedIn, doing this kind of reverse engineering. We just went through enhancing the contact, and I have SalesPro with NowSite. So I have a VA through them who is also helping me facilitate contact with leads, pretty standardized.
Yes.
And what happens when I have everyone enhancing is every time I go into my NowSite, I have more contacts, obviously, because people are adding them, but I have more email addresses. And the fact that NowSite lets you export that out and import it into other things like an email program, like an email messenger program, now the people who I've contacted can be subscribed to my newsletter. And the only thing I'll say about that is because they didn't opt in, make sure you make it very easy for them to opt out. Add that unsubscribe to respect that. But I always feel like sending them at least one thing can't hurt. Especially again, if you make it easy for them to unsubscribe if they don't want future. But if you make that one thing really good, you make that message really strong, you're going to find yourself, if you're adding contacts, you're going to find yourself consistently emailing new people every newsletter, every month, however your frequency is. So it's a great way to build your email contact list. The example I'll give is when I was just doing this by myself, I was maybe adding 100 every couple of weeks. Now that I have 2 VAs, I'm adding around 600 to 700 new ones every month.
And so, quick question: where's the email list? So I have NowSite open. Let's just look at my pending, not connected yet. These are people that my VA has put into a list that we've reached out to through LinkedIn, but they have not connected. You know, she goes back and checks to see if they've connected. If they haven't connected, we've added them to a list. So none of these people connected on LinkedIn. There's 167 people in there. How do I get them to take that list and get them to email an email campaign, let's say?
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know how to do it through email campaigns on NowSite because I don't use them specifically, but I know if you go into that,
go over here and you export CSV.
Correct. I go into the list that I want or into all contacts, wherever.
Yep.
And once I'm in there, you can click that 3 little dots right there and do export CSV, and it'll export a CSV exactly. And then every email program that you're going to import those contacts to works a little bit differently. They all have their own, what we call field requirements.
Yep.
And so you need to get a template from whatever email provider. They oftentimes make it very available for you, a template of their format. And then, sometimes you have to do some copying and pasting from that CSV over to the format. Like, got to copy all the email addresses and paste them into the right place on the template, for example, right?
Sure. Yep.
That way they all upload into your email provider successfully.
Okay.
And then
we
of course,
and I see here's where you can export all of them if you wanted to do them in one group, or you can do it by separate lists.
Right. Exactly, because I actually manage my lists for that through my email campaign. So as long as I just run all contacts whenever I send a newsletter, my email program will automatically filter out who's unsubscribed and who hasn't already been added and all the duplicates and figure that all out for me. That's on the mail side for me. But you can use lists if you want to use NowSite to kind of organize that. It's very possible because lists make it easy for that. But that's kind of the general idea, right? Is if you're able to add consistent people to your contacts, enhance them, get that contact information like email address, you've just kind of added a new subscriber to your newsletter. Again, just respecting their preferences and making it easy for them to unsubscribe using the link at the bottom of the email.
Yes, and saying that. And so he uses an external. We have this available to us in marketing. If you are using marketing, you have email campaigns available to you if you're not just on SalesFlow. And so you could create a list with everyone who you have in your contact list. I will scroll down here and see. These are some of the lists that I've created from different websites, but I know there's probably one in here that has a larger list. That's what I'm kind of looking for. That's the email campaign. So let me go back here to lists. These are my lists here, my lists. And the one that, there's the contact that has pending, no contact. Those are folks, like I'd mentioned, that I've reached out to through LinkedIn, but they haven't reached out back to me. So I have them, they're already in SalesFlow, and I just added them to the list. I selected that list. So what Alex is saying is, now that I already have those folks, the common denominator is I've reached out to you through LinkedIn. I'd love to learn more about your business. I can start an email campaign that opens up, maybe it would be a 3 to 5 email campaign. The first one would be, I reached out to you through LinkedIn. I really like to learn more about your business. Would you mind if I added you to my email list so that I could tell you more about myself? Or would you like to connect and do a one-to-one meeting so we can share back and forth what it is that you do? Bam. We can wait to hear from them. If they respond, then you can continue to email them. Or I just wanted to let you know that I'm going to reach out to you with 3 emails and introduce myself. And if it makes sense for you, I would love to do a one-to-one and connect. I think that both of those are, friendly and not pushy, saying it in that way. It gives people an opportunity to connect with you, and they know there's a limited time. I'm going to send you 3 emails introducing myself. and then they'll be done. And that will give them time to actually connect with you. Another one are down here, I have Christian women prospects. There's like 1,357 in there. So there's a Christian women's networking group that I'm a member of. And so I wanted to invite people to that. They can come free as my guest. And it's a way for me to connect with other women in, with a similar interest to me. And they are all people that I found through SalesPro, through the sales flow process. 100% of those are from that. They're not people in my network. I had unlimited leads, so I started building that list. And what it does for me, putting them on that list, is I can connect with them on LinkedIn. If they haven't, I already have their email. So I automatically put them into an email campaign, introduce myself, and invite them to this free event to be a VIP guest and meet other like-minded women who, women of faith who are in business. If you'd like to meet some of those folks, please respond to this email and let me know. I'll send you the invite. So it's, taking those things that we have in common with the network, with the people that we're trying to network with, and utilizing those common bonds to invite them into your world, to do business with them. And so that's another way that I've done it, is I've created email campaigns based on who these people are. Let me see. I think I have another list of, I exported everyone, like Alex was talking about. I exported everyone from my telephone, my contact list, and put them into a list called Google Contacts. And those people I can reach out and say, hey, it's my birthday and I'm doing a 20% off, or, as a gift to you, or, you could come up with all kinds of different ways to connect with those people in a mass email that still looks customized, by putting in the HTML code for their name. You can direct it directly to them and reach out to them with, an offer that you have, or letting them know what you're doing. A lot of people don't even realize that I'm retired as a holistic health practitioner. I'm no longer seeing people one-to-one, but I'm supporting people in the wellness field to get their message out and to show up digitally online. The majority of the people who are in my network are going to be those people, because I was in that field for a long time. Letting them know what I'm doing now and asking for referrals may just get that telephone to ring and put me in front of people. I was going to show you that list, but it just doesn't matter. It's not relevant. So I'm going to stop sharing. That's kind of a lot of information about messaging, about lists, and sending out newsletters, how we get in touch with people. Does anybody, I'm going to open the floor for questions if anyone has any questions about those pieces that we've demonstrated today. Yeah, go ahead, Johnny. Oh, you're on mute. I see that you asked in chat, how do you get those emails corrected if they're bouncing or incorrect? Is that the question?
Yes.
Sure. Yeah, we probably can't do that if they are bouncing or they're incorrect email. It's just data that is out in the internet, and we're not going to be able to do it. The only way would be to reach out to them through LinkedIn or Messenger and try to develop a relationship through that direction, and then get an updated email from them. But what I do when I see the bouncing or incorrect emails, I delete them. I don't delete the person, but I delete the emails and continue to reach out to them through LinkedIn. I might move, and in fact, I know one of the lists that I have is no email. I have a list called no email. So I know that those people, I'm just reaching out through LinkedIn, or I'm just reaching out through Facebook Messenger.
Yeah, I made a no email list, or a bad list too.
Okay.
So I'm keeping track of them. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you just remove them from your email campaigns that way. Good.
Okay.
Any other questions, thoughts on this? Other ways that you all are using either the messaging or the email function, or the newsletter email functions. How are you using it?
I don't have that subscription actually. When I
Okay.
signed up, there were just some individual offers going. It's been tempting for sure, because the current email platform I use is expensive. It's got one of the best delivery rates, but I mean, it's at this point maybe 3 to 4% better, and I'm not sure if that's worth how much it costs.
Yeah.
So I have been eyeing the marketing. It also unlocks a little bit more, some other potentials with their CRM. So I actually need to spend some time with Leanne, or possibly you, Lisa, because you've done a fantastic job today at leading this meeting.
Okay, thanks.
If to learn a little bit more about marketing and what that looks like, because I haven't actually seen the interface. So.
For sure. Yep, we can make that happen.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. No, that's all I had. Great.
Excellent. Excellent. Yeah, Johnny, you had something else?
Another quick question, because I'm still learning this stuff. Is it better to create an email campaign, or what's the major difference between the email campaign versus the newsletter?
For sure. So a newsletter gets updated every single month. It changes, the data in it changes, and you create a new one every time. An email campaign, we call that, help me out, Alex, is it green content? There's a word for it. Evergreen. It's called evergreen content. So you create the content one time and
Right.
it can be reused over and over again. So for me, I do a lot of email campaigns that introduce me. It's like, hey, I noticed your profile. I noticed this about you. And it's like, I really think that we are a connection, that we would be good connections or potential referral partners. Those are the words that I use, because don't think about what it is that you need when you're creating that email campaign.
Mhm.
Think about what it is that the person you're sending it to would need or desire. And for me, most people need leads for their business. Most people want to get their cash register to ring. So you'll find that message in all of my emails, because I'm trying to talk to them and use buzzwords that they're going to go, who is she and what does she do? She's going to make my cash register ring. I want more of that. I want to know what she's talking about. I need targeted leads. Every business needs targeted leads. So that I try to introduce them to who I am, what I do, and how I can help their business. And then my goal with everything I do is to get face-to-face. It's always to get face-to-face. Would you be available next Tuesday to hop on a one-to-one call? And I'll actually say next Tuesday, no choice, next Tuesday. If so, reply to this email and I'll send you an invite. I close it out with that. Or if you're available next Tuesday, grab a time on my calendar and then I'll send them the calendar link. So those are kind of my two closing messages with everything that I send out. So when you're creating those email campaigns, you build those things into it. That's email funnels or campaigns. And then on the flip side, with a newsletter, Alex is constantly updating Jazz June, his online educational platform. And so with that, there's changes that are coming. There's promotions that he's doing every month to bring in new clients or customers. He may want to be marketing or promoting one of his newest educators, his new members of the site. And so those pieces, there may be 2 or 3 blocks that recognize promotions, one that recognizes new members, and then maybe changes to the platform. So there might be 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 sections on there, and each of those sections changes every month. And so you create that newsletter. You have the template, what the header is going to look like and what the footer is going to look like, how people can get in touch with you, but your sections will change and update. The evergreen stuff doesn't change unless a link goes bad, or you have to do different email address or phone number. You'd update it, but you'd update it for the whole funnel, and then it would be evergreen again. Does that answer your question?
Yes. Can I ask one? I don't want to slow you down if you have more.
No, we're done. This is just Q&A, and yeah, we still have a couple minutes left. Yeah.
Okay. I still don't know what to. The first time I sent out a mass email campaign, I did not know there was a limit of 500 at the time.
For sure.
So I got like well over 1,000 rejections come back. What do you recommend I do with those bad ones that came back?
Yeah, you can upgrade your subscription. So I don't know if you noticed on the screen when we were looking at mine, it shows on there that I have 15,000, I believe. Let me see if I can find it.
For your email campaigns.
Yeah, I see up here in the right-hand corner, email sent this month 35, account limit is 15,000. So I subscribe through my marketing subscription. I have 15,000 emails that I can send out a month, which gives me 500 per day, I believe.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
have that too.
Okay, you do. Yeah, so there is a limit. And the reason that they do that is so we don't end up in spam.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
Hmm.
So you just have to plan when it is that you're sending them out. And that's another reason why I group my people into lists rather than having everybody in one list. Because I'm talking to different groups of people with different interests. And then it also helps me to manage the number of emails that I'm sending out on a daily or weekly basis or monthly basis. I'm sending specifically to my people in the wellness field, or specifically to my people that I do digital advising for, or, they're grouped together that way.
Okay.
I hope that answers your question.
Yes.
Maybe on a
That-
future call, we can go through the list, because I have not organized my contacts in that way. I've seen Leanne's organization, and now I've seen yours, and you guys are so much further, more advanced than I am.
For sure. I'm happy to do that. Or I'm sure Leanne will be happy to do that. I can pass that information on to her. All right.
So-
Well, go ahead.
One more quick question. Can you put the link in there where your recordings are? Because I can't find them now, unless they didn't get put on somewhere.
Yeah, so that is all of Leanne's recordings are through her website, through the Now Club, or what is it called? NowSite 1kclub.now.site, I believe is what it is. But I will make sure that Leanne gets that information and has that sent out to you so that you know. But there is a website for this group, a landing page that she created, and all the links for the videos are on there. And then you can also go to her Vimeo account and look for Joy Minder, and all of the links are on Joy Minder as well. So
Okay.
yeah, her website is Joy Minder, joy-minder.com, I believe.
I'll check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of locations that she has it, but Vimeo, you can go directly to her and find them all. And then she does have her personal website, and then the link for this group is also on that website. And I know they're linked to that group as well.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate the information when you get it.
Okay, certainly. All right.
Thank
I'm
you.
going to stop the recording now. If anybody else has any more questions, we may have a little meeting after the meeting. That's the benefit of being here live. Otherwise, thank you all for watching the video, and we wish Leanne better health tomorrow and the rest of the week. All right.